Good morning. This is Ben, and today I'm going to take a look at this video by Rioni 1989. 3 major biblical inconsistencies. In this, I looked at the video, and so I won't review it. You can look at it. If you can see my video, you can see his. But what do we make of his video? And I wanted to ask a question, so I'll just put it as simple as I can. When it comes to asking yourself the question of truth, is the Bible true? Do inconsistencies make it more likely to be true? I'll ask it again. Do inconsistencies make it more likely to be true? Now, well, obviously to answer this question, the first thing we need to ask is, what is an inconsistency? An inconsistency can apply to a wide variety of things, but when it comes to this subject, we're talking about the stories aren't exactly consistent. Now that could mean that one contradicted the other one. It could mean that. It could also mean that there's just a difference, but that's not necessarily a contradiction. The word inconsistency would be a blanket term that would cover all of any change. Now, a contradiction is like if I tell you that I live in a house and I also don't live in a house. Okay, then I've just contradicted myself. Or if I tell you she's pregnant and she's not pregnant, something like that. But an inconsistency that's not a contradiction is if I told you yesterday I ate some potato chips, and then I talked to someone later and I said, later today, and I said, yesterday I stubbed my toe. Those would be inconsistencies in my story of telling yesterday, but they wouldn't contradict one another, because I could eat some chips and stub my toe. But you can't, live in a house and not live in a house, or be pregnant and not be pregnant. And everything he pointed out, was a difference that wasn't actually a contradiction. It was just where someone told the same story with some slight changes. And in fact, I just wanted to point out this fella down here commented on the video. And the only contradiction the fellow brought up was possible 2 towns. And this fella MG1611 says Gadarenes in Mark 5:1 and Luke 8:26 is an eponym for Gadara. I guess that's for Joshua 2:29, or for Gad. Oh, hold on. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Anyway, and the Gergesenes, Matthew 8:29, for the Hamitic Gergesites or Gergeshites, Genesis 15:21. No problem, just 2 different names designating a region on the east of Galilee. Man out of the city obviously left his city long before Luke 8:29, Matthew 5:3, and the events of Matthew 8:33-34 might have been an hour or a week. 2 men were healed, but Mark and Luke gave special attention to the testimony of just one of these men. Yeah, so that's what could have happened. It could have been a place that was known by a couple of different names, or it could be different ways of saying the name of the same place. And it could have been an issue where 2 men got healed, but one of them focused on the one who had a legion inside him. that was more important for what they were trying to explain. That none of them are going to give every little detail. And so the important thing to keep in mind is that when there's differences that aren't contradictions, it makes the story more likely to be true. It makes the witness accounts in any case more likely to be true. In fact, if they had agreed in every detail, then that would make it less likely to be true, and that would mean that we really only have probably one source. In fact, if they had agreed down to the letter, it would mean that we probably only have one source. But the fact that they don't agree down to the letter means that it's very likely that 3 different people, and we have 3 different sources. And again, we've got to ask ourselves, are we going to complain about inconsistencies while at the same time saying that there's only one source? Which is it? I'll end with that.